Hey guys, let's get more news about Steelers, but first, don't forget to subscribe and leave your like. Falcons finally get good news on Kirk Cousins' trade front. The Atlanta Falcons have been trying to move their $180 million man all off-season. Good news seems to finally be on the horizon as Jeremy Fowler reported on ESPN SportsCenter that Kirk Cousins is very much on the Pittsburgh Steelers' radar. I had some conversations with people this week that led me to believe that Cousins is at the very least on the Steelers' radar, if something were fall through on Rodgers, Fowler began. There was interest earlier in the offseason. Right now, Pittsburgh might be the only hope for Cousins or he's stuck in Atlanta. The massive hurdle that this deal, as a majority of NFL trades do, hinges on is the guaranteed money the Falcons included in the deal that Cousins signed just 2 years ago. The massive deal awarded to the new 36-year-old veteran has turned out to be a massive flop for the organization, who is now doing everything in their power to get somebody else to foot the bill. Cousins has $37.5 million in guarantees between this year and next year, Fowler continued. Somebody's on the hook for that, whether it's Atlanta or someone else. So to facilitate a trade, Atlanta would need a team to offset some of that money, whether it's $4 million, $20 million, whatever it is, but the feeling around the league is that Atlanta has not been willing to budge on this. As one source told me, if they were willing to take a small percentage, like let's say $7 or $8 million of that money, a deal would be done by now. In typical Aaron Rodgers fashion, he is the true last remaining domino to fall in the 2025 NFL offseason. He has publicly flirted with the idea of retirement but seems to maintain that he would like to return to the league after all. The front-runner, and one of the last remaining teams without a true starting quarterback, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. But it appears their owner might be running out of patience for the future Hall of Famer. Steelers president Art Rooney too, who said April 1st that the Steelers will wait not forever, but a little while longer for Aaron Rodgers, delivered a similar line on his way out of Wednesday's owners' meetings. A little while longer. I'll say the same thing, he said, an ex-post from ESPN's Jeremy Fowler read Thursday evening. Save the date, June 1st. June 1st could be the day Atlanta's veteran finally gets moved. This is for 2 reasons. Firstly, June is when teams' off-season programs are going to really start picking up, and the Steelers are in danger of going into that date with Mason Rudolph under center. Secondly, June 1st is the major cap designation date in the NFL. It provides a concrete date in which teams are able to transfer their financial responsibilities to other teams. For example, over the cap, if Cousins was traded before June 1st, whatever team acquired him would have been on the hook for his full $37.5 million contract. But waiting for this important date meant that the Falcons would absolve $12.5 million of that, lessening the financial burden of potential trade partners. Aaron Rodgers makes strong statement on NFL future as Steelers rumors build. Aaron Rodgers has not yet committed to joining the Pittsburgh Steelers for the 2025 season, but is ruling out one other potential NFL destination. Rodgers is widely expected to sign with the Steelers after being cut loose by the New York Jets earlier this offseason, having met with the team's brass weeks ago. But Rodgers has yet to make a final decision, instead taking his time on making anything official. The Steelers could be the last team standing for Rodgers, however, after the former league MVP took one team off the table. Aaron Rodgers won't travel to New Orleans. During a question-and-answer session with rapper Mike Stud in Texas, Rodgers was asked whether he would consider signing with the quarterback-needy New Orleans Saints. Rodgers was definitive in his answer. No, Rodgers replied in a video shared on YouTube. Rodgers continued, adding that he has no desire to sign with the Saints and doesn't want to live in Louisiana. That's the answer. It's no, Rodgers said. I played there a couple times, but no. The answer is no. I'm too old. I don't want to live in Louisiana. Sorry. though the Saints weren't initially listed among the teams pursuing Rodgers. The team had a sudden need at quarterback after Derek Carr opted for retirement rather than a long rehab for a shoulder injury. Though Carr was expected to miss much, if not all, of the coming season, the Saints are now left with no clear path forward at quarterback. The Saints likely would not have been a good fit for Rodgers, who was expected to join a Super Bowl contender in what could be his final NFL season. The Saints are likely headed to a rebuild, having already finished at the bottom of the NFC South last season at 5-12. Rodgers had also been connected to the Minnesota Vikings earlier this offseason, but the Vikings are moving forward with second-year quarterback J.J. McCarthy after deciding not to re-sign Sam Darnold in free agency. Aaron Rodgers could join Steelers in coming weeks. Though Rodgers has remained tight-lipped about his future NFL plans, one league insider believes his signing with the Steelers is imminent. ESPN's Adam Schefter noted that the Steelers are publicly optimistic that they will land Rodgers, and with mandatory minicamp around the corner it could be the perfect time for him to join the organization. "My guess is he's going to wind up there," Schefter said, via SI.com. "I think that we've heard Art Rooney, the team owner, say he expects Aaron Rodgers to sign there, and they have mandatory minicamp June 10th to the 12th, so I would think Rodgers is on the table here in the next week or so." The Steelers don't appear to have a solid plan at quarterback should Rodgers not sign. The team brought back veteran Mason Rudolph, but he has not been a starter for an extended stretch since 2019. That year he started 8 games for the Steelers, completing 62.2% of his passes for 1,765 yards with 13 touchdowns and 9 interceptions. Steelers owner Art Rooney updates Aaron Rodgers' timeline, expects decision. Pittsburgh Steelers owner Art Rooney too continues to wait on free agent quarterback Aaron Rodgers to solidify plans ahead of the 2025 season, but the timeline is shortening. The Steelers drafted Ohio State's Will Howard and have Mason Rudolph along with Skylar Thompson under contract. Rodgers, obviously, would be Pittsburgh's immediate starter. A little while longer. "I'll say the same thing," Rooney said this week, per ESPN's Jeremy Fowler, echoing his previous stance from April 1. CBS Sports' Brian DeArdo explained it's time for the Steelers to pull the plug on the Rodgers experiment this week, suggesting the quarterback's current value on the field after his inconsistent 2024 season isn't worth the continued wait and roller coaster timeline he has provided. Rodgers biographer Ian O'Connor argues that a Rodgers decision comes before June 10th. "I do think there will be a happy ending, at least for him, and we will find out for the Steelers and their fan base," O'Connor said recently on the PM Team with Pony and Mueller. "If I had $100 to put down, my feeling is he will be in uniform June 10th for the start of the mandatory minicamp.